place that we were really interested in coming to try out, and so it being closed and to hearing the disturbing news is disappointing.
I'm just shocked.
Renee Gilbert is hosting friends from out of state this weekend. She stopped by to place a to-go order.
When people come from out of town, they want this place, you know. They're like, they hear about it, it's world famous.
Tonight, the Houston Health Department tells us city inspectors shut down the restaurant yesterday after finding 35 health code violations.
That is a lot. That is a lot. I don't know how they're going to bounce back from this.
Comprehensive.
You know, I was like, man, hell no, man, fuck it. You know,
So how many restaurants do you currently own now?
We own one, but we own the whole block. We own the whole block, 6 food trucks. We have other businesses. We probably own other businesses with their names on it, but you know how they go.
Now, what was your biggest mistake as entrepreneurs opening up? Because you guys didn't know. It just
getting in the bed with the wrong person.
Okay.
When we first started, the very first location we had, there was a situation where we got into the bed with the wrong person, and this person had ill intent. Lynn, everybody knows, went on vacation for 2.5 years.
As soon as I went off, you know what I'm saying?
And he plotted to steal our concept, the recipes, the everything, and so much down to the point where he stole the staff.
Oh my gosh.
But you know the great thing about that is that he couldn't recreate what was meant for us.
The once popular Turkey Leg Hut is officially closed. A judge converted the Third Ward establishment's Chapter 11 bankruptcy to Chapter 7, clearing the way for the restaurant's landowner to terminate the lease. This is new video from today showing the closed restaurant on Alameda. As you can see, all of the iconic signs are now gone. All assets are to be sold to repay creditors. This has been months in the making, with a series of headlines from bankruptcy and lawsuits to 30 health department violations. Turkey Leg Hut owes the landlord more than $100,000.
Man, what's up, Uncut Family? Y'all already know we back with another one. But this time, we're gonna take y'all to Houston, Texas, where a once popular couple and restaurant is having the craziest fall from grace. From selling drugs with the company's logo, stealing recipes, scamming a Grammy-nominated gospel singer, arson, and much more. But first, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, let's get straight to it. All right, fam, let me introduce y'all to Nakia Holmes and her ex-husband, Lyndale Price, who most know as Lynn Price. Nakia and Lynn started the Turkey Leg Hut back in 2015 in the parking lot. After popular demand in the parking lot shop being, let's say, just a little too small, they decided to move the Turkey Leg Hut to the larger and once popular location. And popular, that might be an understatement. They was the superstars of the turkey leg business. People across the world couldn't wait to get their hands on their signature turkey legs, covered in shrimp Alfredo, dirty rice, much more toppings, really anything you wanted. We'll begin at a small parking lot spot, turn global.
He would always say the world is going to taste our food.
Meet Nakia and Lynn Price, founders of the Turkey Leg Hut restaurant in Houston, Texas.
You know, we came up with the concept. People encouraged us, and before we knew it, it took off. We probably do about 45,000 turkey legs in a week. Still to this day, I'm amazed to see that line wrapped around the building.
Here we go! Ford F-150 truck has played a major role pulling the barbecue pit.
We don't have to bring out a generator. To be able to plug up our food truck from our vehicle, I mean, it's genius. You're always on the go, so it's easy for me to be able to plug up what I need. It's made our life easier.
We've worked hard to get here. And we just this small little restaurant, but as I always say, the proof is in the pudding.
Why work for someone else's dreams when you can do it for yourself?
Now, I don't know if y'all remember this, but the Turkey Leg Hut implemented a crazy dress code after they say women and men were coming in with little to no clothes on, causing discomfort amongst the customers.
Turkey Leg Hut is getting national attention this weekend after implementing a controversial dress code. Fox 26's Chelsea Edwards tells us why the popular restaurant is now in the hot seat.
Turkey Leg Hut was trending nationwide on Twitter after posting these new dress code rules. Some say it alienates their customers. Others say it's about time.
Turkey Leg Hut draws in crowds from across the nation with its famously stuffed legs.
That's what the restaurant says it wants to see less of in this dress code posted Friday that excludes bonnets and exposed undergarments and states all body parts must be completely covered.
It makes your meal much more pleasant. You had to change her clothes.
Critics cooked up social media jokes featuring black tie and Amish attire as the new requirement, but others accused the restaurant of kicking out the same fan base that made them popular, even calling the owners racist.
We're a restaurant and we're not a club, let alone a strip club.
The restaurant says its family-friendly atmosphere has been taking a hit during the return to summer fun, with some customers complaining about what was hanging out at the table next to them.
As we see, people coming in with pants all the way below the bottom of their derriere. We see, women coming in with nothing but exposed butt and thigh.
They also say the first post was a draft not meant to be published. It was replaced with this list that prohibits excessively revealing clothing.
It was not implemented to change our image. We still like to have a good time, but at the same time, it's an environment where there are children here, there are older people here.
Turkey Leg Hut says there are no other changes in the works, but guests who don't follow the guidelines may be turned away.
I would think it's appropriate for them to cover up. I mean, if you're coming here and you're coming here for business, you don't want to come here for that.
Leaving some diners to enjoy their turkey meat while seeing less skin at the table. In 3rd Ward, Chelsea Edwards, Fox 26 News.
According to court records, on March 26, 2024, Nakia Homes filed for Chapter 1 bankruptcy, listing 19 creditors with a little under $2 million invested into the business. There was one business partner in particular the couple had mentioned, getting into bed with the wrong person. This man's name was Steve Rogers.
Yeah, we are. So we're in Northwest.
Ex-business partner Steve Rogers, who owns the bar 5015, filed a lawsuit against Nakia Homes, alleging that she was backdooring the food operation, selling food out of food trucks, and not cutting him in on the profit. And later that year, his bar would be set on fire. It wouldn't be until 2025 that we would find out the why. Apparently, Steve Rogers took the recipe and the suppliers from the Turkey Leg Hut, the recipe being the key ingredient that brought the Turkey Leg Hut in so much success. Lynn Price was not having it. Lynn Price was pissed off. But as Lynn Price said, he was on vacation for 2 years. According to police, Lynn Price paid a group of men $1,400 to have the bar 5015 set on fire. This wasn't the only lawsuit that was filed. Another lawsuit was filed, this time by no other than James Fortune, a Grammy-nominated singer, and his wife. James and his wife said they loaned the couple nearly $400,000 and another $180,000 to invest 15% within the Turkey Leg Hut.
First tonight, more legal trouble for Houston's well-known Turkey Leg Hut.
A Grammy-nominated gospel singer James Fortune and his wife are now suing the restaurant's owner over claims they put more than $300,000 into the restaurant and are now out of the money. Sherman Chow joins us live with the story you'll see only on KHU 11 News. Sherman, this is just the latest problem for this popular restaurant.
It is indeed, Mia. We are outside of Turkey Leg Hut, which remains closed because of 35 health department code violations. And now a new lawsuit has been filed, and we are learning exclusively that a nationally known gospel artist says he and his wife have been violated too. James Fortune, gospel singer, husband, and investor. In 2018, he and wife Raquel met Nakia and Lindell Price at the Price's popular 3rd Ward restaurant. Turkey Leg Hut seemed the epitome of success.
We go to their home. We spend time, our kids interacted with each other.
Then last December, as the Prices were in the throes of a contentious divorce, the Fortunes say they loaned Nakia, as the restaurant's owner, $100,000. 2 months later, Raquel says Nakia phoned.
She was hysterical. Because the comptrollers were physically there to seize assets, and so she needed financial assistance immediately.
The Fortunes then say they put in $180,000 for 15% ownership of the Turkey Leg Hut. The next month, the Fortunes tell us Nakia couldn't pay bills.
So she asked if I would use my personal card to purchase food for the business.
The Fortunes say they spent thousands paying for food supplies and services. Then, on March 26th, Turkey Leg Hut filed for bankruptcy, declaring less than $50,000 in assets.
By then, we're, $300,000 in. Bankruptcy was filed a month after we had given that money. We come to find out there's millions in debt now.
Over the past several weeks, I went to the Turkey Leg Hut, contacted employees, attorneys, and Nakia Holmes requesting an interview, which she declined. The Fortunes say in hopes of keeping the restaurant afloat, they even paid some employees when Turkey Leg Hut did not.
Did you take a business risk and it just didn't work out, as opposed to something more nefarious?
I think I allowed my friendship to blind me in a lot of areas. It's no words to describe the level of pain, hurt, and frustrations.
The Fortunes say they put in nearly $400,000 into the restaurant. Now they are suing and praying in hopes of getting their money back.
In April of 2025, Price was arrested for the arson of Bar 5015 and another bar close to the Turkey Leg Hut. Both bars owned by a co-owner and one's business partner, Steve Rogers. 2 men were also arrested. Their names were John Lee Price and Armani Williams. After being arrested on federal drug charges, John Lee Price admitted his role in the arson, identifying Lynn Price, his employer, as the mastermind and the one that set the whole thing up. John Lee Price also told police that Lynn Price used the Turkey Leg Hut as a front to sell hundreds of pounds of Mary J, using the company's logo as cover. The FBI then tracked Lee's phone to the bar arsons and also uncovered phone calls between him and Lynn Price night before and the morning after the arsons, allegedly. There was at least 2 other men on video, but these 2 other men were failed to be mentioned. Lee told investigators he received 2 payments after the fires. The first for $1,000, which was split between the crews. The second was for $400. Court documents revealed that Lynn Price had an arsenal of weapons, including guns registered to other people and a flamethrower. As being a convicted felon from a tax fraud conviction, permitted him from having any guns.
Price, the former owner of the Turkey Leg Hut, pled not guilty after being indicted on 3 federal charges in the case of the fire set the bar 5015 in June of 2020. It was a long hearing here today with Fox 26's reporter Leslie Delaspore was at the courtroom. Leslie, what can you tell us?
Yeah, court was about 2 hours long, and we heard lots of evidence, but also strong arguments from both sides. But also lots of information came out of that courtroom today. Now, federal prosecutors called an FBI agent to the stand. That agent claims co-defendant John Price told investigators that Lindell orchestrated in setting Bar 5015 on fire, stole cars, and even knew that marijuana was being sold on Turkey Leg Hut property using Turkey Leg Hut branding and packaging. John Price later admitted to setting the fire when he was arrested on a separate charge in 2023. Now, during the cross-examination, the defense argued that Lindell is a good member in the community and said John Price's confession only came about because he was facing felony drug charges.
The evidence that they have put on is based on a person, an individual that is under federal indictment for trafficking one of the most dangerous drugs in America, which is fentanyl. So again, the court has provided him with a bond. There are no allegations against my client whatsoever as it related to any type of drug trafficking as it relates to that co-defendant. A lot of things were brought up that we necessarily didn't agree with, and we addressed those things during the course of the hearing.
Now, the judge said that she had a lot to chew on before she could make a decision. Anthony.
Leslie, really quickly here. So, like you mentioned, lots of stuff happened in court today, but when we came to cross-examination from the defense, what did we learn? What were they saying in defense of him?
Yeah, there was something that really stood out to a lot of people in the courtroom. So during the cross-examination, the FBI agent pointed out that Lindell Price was actually not seen in the surveillance video of Bar 5015 being set on fire. And that was one of the first points in the argument from the defense towards the end of the hearing.
This is not a rush for judgment. We're not going to, litigate this case in the media. We're looking for the court's ruling. We're looking forward to the court's ruling, and we're looking forward to clearing Mr. Lindell Price's name.
Well, there you have it, Uncut Family. A fall from grace. A man who wanted it all and lost it all. A woman who is now saying the marriage was the reason it all happened. I mean, I would say the same thing. Y'all owe people. Y'all owe people some money. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. ENT Uncut, over, and we out.
He would always say the world is going to taste our food.